So here in today's class, I would like to start with the what are the methods of leveling in the survey. That is, first one is barometric leveling. Here barometric method means here we are using the find outing the levels between the 2 points by using a instrument is called as a barometer. Okay. So barometer is the one of the instrument used for the find outing the elevation between the 2 points. So in this barometer, we have to find out the what is the difference in elevation atmospheric pressure between the with respect to points. Suppose I would like to explain here. Suppose this is the one level, okay, and one more level is here. Okay, this is first level, and this is second level. So by using a barometer, what we have to do, we have to find out the what is the difference in atmospheric pressures at with respect to levels. Okay, so this is one point and this is another point. We have to find out the what is the difference in elevation. So first keep your barometer instrument at this level, then you have to note down the what is the atmospheric pressure. Similarly, same barometer you have to kept here at some time, then you have to note down the what is the atmospheric pressure at the this level. The difference of these pressures by using some relations we have to find, we can get the what is the difference in elevation. Elevation means what? It is the difference in height. Okay, difference in height with the reference of the any datum line. That is the main object of the barometric leveling. Okay, but in the most of the cases we are not using the this type of barometric leveling because we know that the whatever the atmospheric pressure is there, it is not a constant at a every point. It will changes the hourly, maybe it will be changes the every minute of the with respect to stations. So that's why in the most of the cases we are not using the barometric leveling method. Okay, because at a, suppose this is the one of the point here, if you are find out the atmospheric pressure at this level by using a barometer, then if it is initially show the one reading and after some minutes, few minutes, maybe it will be 10 minutes or 15 minutes, the same places or same station, again you are checking the atmospheric pressure here, it is the different, it show the different reading. So that's why the whatever the atmospheric pressure is there, it will not be remain constant at a with respect to points at a whole day. So that's why you are not using the this type of method in the leveling or surveying. Okay, this is the first method. Coming to the second method, that is trigonometrical leveling. It is also called as a indirect leveling. Okay, so this is the one of the process of a leveling. We have to find out the elevation of the with respect to points. First we have to measure the vertical angles as well as a horizontal angles, and also we have to measure the distance between the with respect to points, horizontal distance between the with respect to points. Then later by using a trigonometrical relations, okay, by using a sine, tan, cos, like by using a trigonometrical relations with respect to stations, applying that one, we'll get the with respect to elevation between the with respect to points. Okay, so here basically it is trigonometrical relations. Just we have to measure the vertical angles or horizontal angles, and we have to measure the distance between the with respect to points. Okay, this is the one of the method used for the find outing the elevation between the with respect to points. Okay, this trigonometrical leveling we'll discuss in later part, because there is a one small part is there in the fourth and the fifth model. We'll discuss in detail in that chapter. Okay, so next go to the third method, that is spirit leveling or direct leveling. Okay, here it is the branch of leveling in which vertical distances with respect to a horizontal line may be used to determine the relative difference in elevation between the two adjacent points. Okay, here we are using the a spirit level for finding out the elevation between the two points. Here there are spirit level means what? I will show one diagram here. Okay, this is the image of the spirit level. Okay, one of the images of the spirit level. This is used for the level of the our instrument. The one more instrument we are using that is telescope. Okay, by using the telescope will be while measuring the vertical readings. By using a telescope, the whatever telescope is there, it is exactly horizontal plane. So that's why we are using the for leveling up the that horizontal plane. We are using these type of spirit level. Then we have to make the exactly telescope will be horizontal plane. Then later we have to find out the with respect to elevation readings. Okay, this is the most commonly used method in the leveling surveying. Okay, so here next we discuss about the leveling instruments. In this leveling, there are main two instruments are there. One is level and one more is a leveling staff. What is the level? This is the one of the picture of the level. So just observe here. This is our telescope and this one is our spirit level for the leveling of this instrument or this telescope. Okay, this side it is eyepiece is attached here and this one is objective glass and this portion is leveling head and these are the some screw are there. It is called as a leveling screw, also it is called as a foot screws. Okay, then similarly some focusing screw are there here. Okay, by using that one we can easily clear the image in the telescope. Okay, then this is about the level instrument. Then we have to take the leveling staff. What is the leveling staff? This is the one of the image of the our leveling staff here. So in that one they will mark the like a black and white marks are there. Generally it is black and in the background it is white is there. On that one they have marked the with respect to marks like this small a one big line and small lines again bigger than the previous the small line and again bigger. On that one they have marked the with respect to readings like a your tape or your scale. Okay, they are marking the in the scale in mm with respect to line it is mm and similarly 1 centimeter like that. So here the whatever the one line that is one black line. Okay, one black line it is equal to the 0.005 meters. Okay, this is the least count of the our leveling staff. Remember that one, the least count of the leveling staff is 0.005 meters or simply it is called as a 5 mm. In terms of mm it is 5, in terms of meter it is 0.005 meter. Okay, one black strip is equal to 0.005 meter. Similarly the whatever the black is there in between these two black line, the one height is there, this is also equal to the same as that is 0.005 meters. And with respect to that one they have marked the 1 meter, 1.1, 1.2 like 2 meter, 3 meter and 4 meters. Maximum length you can erect the means you can erect these one from the here. Okay, so up to that you can measure the 4 meter length here. Okay, in general the leveling staff will be available in 3 meter as well as a 4 meter length. Okay, this is about the instruments used in the leveling. Then next we discuss about the level. Okay, in this level there are different types of levels are there. we'll discuss in this class. Okay, so here first one is the dumpy level. The instrument is called as a dumpy level. Okay, second one is Y level, third one reversible, and last one is tilting level. These are the four main types of the level instruments. Start with the first one, that is dumpy level. Okay, this is the typical diagram of the dumpy level instrument. Okay, this is our dumpy level. This is for the stand for the attaching this instrument. It is called as a, the three legs are there, so that's why it is called as a tripod. Okay, the whatever the portion from here to here, this is called as a tripod stand, and this is our dumpy level instrument. Okay, so it is as usual same. This is our spirit level, and this one is the telescope, and this side is eyepiece, and this side is objective glass. Okay, these are the three foot screws are there. Okay, so the telescope of the dumpy level is rigidly fixed to its support. Means the whatever telescope is there, it is fixed on this rigid supports. It cannot be removed from that supports. Okay, and one more condition of this instrument is there. The whatever telescope is, it is not rotated about the horizontal axis or longitudinal axis. Okay, means it can see from only this side to this side only. It cannot see the other sides. Means if you rotate this one, if you are taking the previous reading again, checking for that one, it is not possible here. So it means the whatever telescope is there, it is rigid. It is not possible to remove from the instrument, and it is not possible to rotate it in the longitudinal axis. Okay, then the instrument is stable and retains its permanent adjustment for a longer time. Once you complete all the temporary adjustments of the instruments, it will take the longer time for the disturbing any other disturbance from the surveyor or any issues. Okay, this is the main parts and main object of the dumpy level instruments. This is the most commonly used instrument in the leveling surveying. Then second one is there, that is Y level. Okay, you can write WYE, or simply it is can write Y level. Okay, this is the typical diagram of our Y level. So why it is Y level means the whatever telescope is there, it is attached on a Y shaped stand. Okay, this is the whatever this one is there, this is Y shape stand is there. On that the telescope is attached here. This is called as a Y level. Again here also same, a spirit level is there for leveling up the instrument, and again for leveling up the instrument they are given the 3 foot screws here. Okay, so in some other cases they may give 4 foot screws. Okay, so in this whatever typical diagram is there, in this 3 foot screws are there. Okay, so in this here, as I told, the telescope is held on the 2 stands that is Y shaped support. Okay, so here the main advantage of this Y level is the whatever telescope is there, it can be easily removed from this support. Then you can keep your telescope in opposite directions. Okay, so firstly it is eyepiece is here, objective glass is here. After taking the readings, then you can remove this telescope from this stand. You can keep your eyepiece this side and objective glass this side. Okay, this is the main advantage of our Y level instrument. Okay, okay, it is easily you can remove from the telescope by using the clips here. Okay, the whatever this one is there, it will be removed in the vertical, it will can move from the vertical direction, then you can take it this one telescope in the from the stand. Okay, this is the main advantage of the Y level. Coming to the third one, that is reversible level. Okay, this is same, it is combination of the dumpy level as well as a Y level. Okay, then it is supported to two rigid sockets. Then telescope can be rotated in the longitudinal axis. Okay, in the dumpy level, the telescope will not be rotated and it will not be removed. But in the Y level, you can uh, remove the telescope and you can rotate in the longitudinal axis. But in the reversible, it is combination of the dumpy level as well as a Y level. Okay. Next, coming to the fourth one, that is tilting level. This is the typical diagram of the our instrument, that is tilting level. Okay. Here the spirit level is attached here also, and as a small spirit level they are given here. Okay, again here also there, this is for the tightening of the telescope. It will, if you tighten this screw, the whatever telescope will not be rotated in the longitudinal axis. And this one is the focusing of the eyepiece as well as the focusing of the objective glass. And here these are the three foot screws. Then the last fifth one is there, that is laser level. Okay, so as per your syllabus it is not there, but I will tell that one here. These are the new modern surveying instruments. Here we are using the, without using the leveling staff, we can find out the with respect to height of the from the instrument. Okay, so here we are using the measurement of a height by using a laser beam. Okay, it will give the laser, it will eliminates the laser from the here in the instrument. It will touches the with respect to reflector and it will hit back to the this instrument. Then it will calculate the with respect to time travel from this station to the with respect to reflector station. Then it will calculate and then it will give the height of the instrument as well as a distance from the instrumentation to the our reflector point. Okay, okay, this is the laser level. Nowadays it is commonly used in surveying instrument. Next we discuss about the temporary adjustment of a level. Okay, before the temporary adjustment of a level, the adjustment of a level or leveling instrument, there are two types are there. One is temporary adjustments, one more is permanent adjustments. Temporary adjustments means what? Whenever you are conducting the surveying, before the starting of the collecting the information in the field, we have to level the instrument with respect to horizontal plane. These are the temporary adjustments. Permanent adjustments means what? If you are whatever the some crosshairs are there in the telescope, okay, these are the permanently attached data, means it will not disturb the our instrument. Okay, like that, these are the coming under the permanent adjustments. Okay, for reverse levels it is only mentioned that temporary adjustments. Okay, so start with the temporary adjustments. In this temporary adjustments, there are three steps are there. One is setting up the level, second one is leveling up, and third one is elimination of parallax. Okay, setting up the level means what? We will discuss here. First step for the temporary adjustments, that is setting up the level. Okay, so this is the image of the our tripod stand. Okay, you have to keep your tripod stand like this. Okay, so you can pull your this stand into the ground, means it will not disturb the any wind or any disturbance from the your surveyor. Okay, so keep open your all the these three legs, then you can press on the at this stage. Okay, then it will insert to the into the ground, then it will the whatever stand is there, it will firmly level. Okay, the adjustment of these legs, you have to keep in mind that the whatever the positions of this one is there, it is approximately horizontal. Okay, in that eye you have to keep your stand for the these legs. Then take your leveling instrument. Okay, keep on this top of the this stand, then there is a one screw is there on the bottom of this one, then tighten with the this instrument. Okay, rotate it in clockwise or anti-clockwise. Okay, then it will be tighten the our instrument, means it will not disturb the this instrument from the this stand, it will permanently adjustment to the stand and our leveling instruments. Okay, this is the first step. Then second step is leveling up. Leveling up means what? Okay, I will tell that. So they have given the spirit level, the whatever the telescope is there, it is exactly horizontal plane, it will not be like in inclined like this. Okay, so what telescope will be exactly like exactly horizontal plane, then the whatever the readings will measure, it is exactly with respect to same level. If your telescope is like this, then what will happen, the whatever the readings on the with respect to ground level will be, it is maybe it will be higher the elevation or maybe lower the elevation. So that's why we have to adjust the this telescope exactly horizontal plane by using a this leveling up method. Okay, so generally in the instrument it is 3 foot screws are there. Okay, in some cases there are some instruments are there, it is with the 4 foot screws. Okay, I will explain the what is the procedure for the leveling up the instrument by using a 3 foot screws. Okay, this is the top image of the with respect to foot screws. Okay, this is one, so you can take it as this is A, this is B, and this one is C, or 1 2 3 foot screws are there. Okay, so first you have to observe this diagram, and this one is the spirit level. If our instrument is exactly horizontal plane, the whatever the bubble water bubble is there, it is exactly coming under the center. Okay, if it is not a center, then you have to come to know that the whatever telescope is there, it is not a horizontal plane. Okay, why it is you have to make this one, you have to making the telescope exactly horizontal plane. What is the first step? So take your two fingers, okay, both hands, keep on the any 2 foot screws here. You have to select the any 2 foot screws here. So for here I am selecting the A and B. Okay, I am selecting the A and B. Then you have to keep in mind that the whatever the our spirit level is there, okay, your bubble tube is there, it is parallel to the these 2 foot screws. Okay, remember that one. For processing of this one, if you are selecting these 2 foot screws, then you have to keep your instrument, that is spirit level or bubble tube, it is parallel to the these 2 foot screws like this. Okay, then at the same time what you have to do with the fingers, at the same time you have to rotate the this screw in inside, and similarly here also same, you have to rotate your screw in inside. Okay, at the same time you have to rotate your these 2 foot screws in into the inside like this. Okay, or you can rotate these 2 foot screws at the same time outside also, depending upon the bubble is present on this side or this side. You can rotate inside, first inside, then it is bubble move to the center, then you can continue that one. If it is not rotated, then you have to rotate your these 2 foot screws both outside. at the same time. Don't rotate the individual foot screw. At the same time, these two screws will be rotated inside or outside. Then until that, the whatever the bubble coming to the center. Then if it is bubble is coming to the center, then stop the rotating of these two foot screws. Okay. Then second step. Now after coming up the bubble to center, rotating the inside or outside of these two foot screws. Now coming to the next step. Now rotate your telescope. Okay, just you have to rotate your telescope. Our bubble tube will be exactly perpendicular to the previous two foot screws. Okay, you have to keep your bubble tube exactly perpendicular to these two foot screws, means previous considered foot screws, or this bubble tube will be parallel to the remaining whatever the screw is present here. Okay, here C is the third one. Then keep your bubble tube like this. If bubble is exactly center, don't rotate this third screw. In generally it will not exactly center. Then again you have to rotate only this one. Okay, you can rotate in the clockwise or anti-clockwise. Okay, until that you have to rotate in clockwise or anti-clockwise. Only this third screw, the bubble to be coming to the center. If bubble is coming to the center, then stop the rotating of this screw. Then again repeat the same process until that in the both sides. Okay, in the both sides this bubble will be exactly center. Then you have to come to know that the instrument is or telescope is exactly horizontal plane. Until that you have to repeat the 2 to 3 times. Then the bubble will be center at all the stages. Okay, this is the second step of the temporary adjustment. Then next, the last step, that is elimination of a parallax. Okay, elimination of parallax means what? It is the condition arising when the image is formed by the object. It is not in the exactly over the crosshairs. Okay, in the objective glass or in the eyepiece, this is just observe here. This is eyepiece. Here they have marked it like this. Okay, there is one plus. Okay, these and similarly at some distances there are a small lines are there. The whatever these lines are there. Okay, these lines you are calling as a in this instrument, that is crosshairs. Very thin lines are there. Okay, in the telescope these lines are called as our crosshairs. Okay, so the main object of this elimination of parallax means we have to focusing the eyepiece. Means focusing the eyepiece means there is one screw is there. By rotating that one, the whatever the image you are bisecting that by using a telescope, it will be clearly visible. Until that we have to rotate your telescope screw in clockwise or anti-clockwise. Okay, then second one is focusing up the object. Okay, focusing up the object means it is again same as it is. The object will be exactly clearly visible, that one. Okay, then after these two completion of these focusing of the eyepiece as well as a objective glass, then our crosshairs will be visible in the clearly in the telescope, and similarly our object will be clearly visible in the telescope. Then stop this process. Okay, these are the three temporary adjustments of a leveling instruments. Then we can continue with respect to collecting up the field data, that is levels or elevations of with respect to points. The next one is theory of direct leveling. Okay, before that one we'll discuss about some basic definition, that is station. But some more definitions are there, that is stations. The whatever definitions we are discussing here, these are the helpful in the collecting the field data and entering in with respect to tabular form. Okay, station is the point where leveling staff is held and not the point where level is kept. The station means what? The station is the point where leveling staff is held. That is our station. The whatever the your leveling instrument is there kept that point, that is not a our station point. The staff is held on the with respect to ground level. These are the station points. Okay. Then height of instrument. For any setup of the level or leveling instrument, the height of the instrument is the elevation of the plane sight or line of sight respect to the assumed datum. Okay, it is also called as a line of collimation. Means, suppose this is ground level. Here you are set up the our instrument like this. Okay, this is our telescope, and this is our horizontal imaginary line passing from the telescope exact center of that one. Okay, so suppose this is our benchmark. Okay, this is the benchmark. Okay, from this benchmark datum line, the height between the this datum line to the this line of sight. Okay, this is called as a height of instrument. Okay, this is called as a height of instrument. Then next, backside, it is the sight taken on a level staff held at a point of known elevation with an intention of determining the plane of collimation or sight. Okay, BS means what? After the setup of the instrument, we have to take the first staff reading on a given datum level or on a given benchmark. Means we know the what the level of the with respect to stations. That is called as a that reading is called as a act as a that is BS. Okay. After setup of the instrument, before starting up the data, we have to take the one reading on a given elevation point. That reading staff reading is called as a that is back sight. That is simply it is called as a BS. Then foresight. Okay, this is the last reading taken from the instrument just before the shifting the instrument. Okay, this is what this is the last reading. When completion of the work, the whatever last reading is there, it will act as a foresight. And in some cases, if it is a longer distances work is there, so it is not possible to one setup of the instrument taking the all the readings. In that condition, we are shifting the instrument from one station to the another station. Before the shifting of the instrument, the whatever the reading, last reading is there, this will be act as a foresight. Okay. Then next one is intermediate sight, that is IS. These are the staff reading taken in between the backside as well as a foresight. In between that, whatever the readings you are taking, that these will be act as a intermediate sights. Okay. Next, change point. This is a point on which both foresight and backside are taken. This station is called as a change point. Okay, I will explain here. Just observe here. Okay, this is one setup of the instrument here. This is A station and this is B station. Okay, so just leave this all the readings here. So this is our benchmark here. So for benchmark, we know the elevation here. They are given that 210.852. In generally in the practice, we are using the maybe it will be 100, 200 or 500 like that. Okay, you can assume any elevation level of the elevation of this point. You can assume any value. Okay, but here they are given the with respect to this value. So after setup of the instrument, you have to take the one staff reading, that is 2.324 on station of A. So for station A, we know the elevation. So this reading will be act as a that is BS, that is backside. Then after taking the this one, I am keeping the our leveling staff and on the station of B. Then the whatever the reading we are reading, that this reading is where this will be act as a 4 site. Okay, that is Fs. Okay, then by using a calculation we are getting the elevation of the B station. Okay, by using a reference of this benchmark we can easily calculate the, by some calculation methods are there, we will discuss it later. Then we will calculate the what is the elevation of the this B point. So this is BS and this is FS. Okay, suppose the A station and B stations are the longer distances. In that condition you are taking the one more staff readings in between that one, like this. Okay, so these staff readings will be act as a intermediate sites. Clear? In between the BS and FS, if you are taken the staff readings, these staff readings will be act as a intermediate site. Now change point. Change point means what? Suppose if you are shifting the instrument, okay, like this. If you are setting the instrument, you are setting the new station, okay, like this. So this is our last staff station. This whatever the reading will be there, sorry, this will be act as a 4 set. After shifting the instrument, again you have to take the, on the same station you are taking the one more staff reading. This reading will be act as a back site. So the same state, on the same staff station, on the same station we have to take the FS as well as a BS reading. This station will be act as a change point. So I hope it is clear what is the meaning of BS, IS, FS